Hannah,
Blaze,
and Brittany.
Momentum is represented by the letter P. Momentum equals mass times velocity. Momentum is also always conserved. This means that it can't be created or destroyed. This is represented by the equation here. Initial momentum equals final momentum. Momentum is also a vector. This means that it matters which direction momentum is directed towards. There are two different equations for momentum. There is elastic, which means when two objects collide and stick together, they will have their own momentum. There's inelastic, when the two objects collide and bounce off, having two separate momentums. For the elastic equation, we have the mass of object 1 times the initial velocity of object 1 plus the mass of object 2 times the initial velocity of object 2. And when they collide, this equals the mass of object 1 plus the mass of object 2 together. And their velocities are now the same. For example, we have Mr. Pig and Mr. Bear. Mr. Pig has its own mass and its own velocity, and Mr. Bear has his own mass and its own velocity. When they collide, their masses are now together, and their velocity is the same, but it's different from their initial velocity.
In an inelastic equation, we have the momentum of Mr. Pig headed at a vector towards Mr. Bear, where Mr. Bear has his own momentum and a vector heading towards Mr. Pig. They collide, and then they separate, each having different final momentum.
there you go.
Now from the wild, we have a pig and a bear to demonstrate an inelastic collision.
And now we have an example of an elastic equation.
And here we are at the physics service!
We have J-Dog measuring in with a mass of 4 kilograms. We have Lily here in the right hand corner, lightweight underdog measuring in at 2 kilograms.
In the elastic collision, the mass of the first car equals 4. The velocity of the first car equals 2. The mass of the second car is 2 kilograms. The velocity is 6 meters per second. The mass of the first car 4 times the velocity 2 plus the mass of the second car 2 times the velocity 6 equals the mass of the cars combined times the velocity. 8 plus 12 equals 6v, 20 equals 6v, and then the final velocity of the cars combined is 3.3 meters per second.
Go.
In an inelastic equation, the mass of the first car is 4 kilograms, the velocity is 2 meters per second, the mass of the second car is 2 kilograms, and the velocity is 6 meters per second. The given final velocity is -1. The mass of the first car 4 times the velocity 2 plus the mass of the second car 2 times the velocity 6 equals the mass of the first car 4 times the given final velocity -1 plus 2v. 20 equals -4 plus 2v. 24 divided by 2 equals 12, and the velocity is 12 meters per second.